How do you do? It's me, Stefan Burchard, the Desert Bowtie Realtor, with your latest episode of Networking Nuggets. Today I have my buddy Mohamed Kastiro, and he is with FreeVolt Solar. So Mohamed, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mohamed Kastiro. I'm the CEO for FreeVolt USA. We're a solar manufacturer and also installer. I actually was the first employee for FreeVolt, so we helped build it to what it is today. Currently, we have 9 offices in the US and over 100 offices in 11 countries.
Wow, that's quite robust. And you were the first US employee?
I was the first one.
Wow, awesome. Well, it's been wonderful watching you grow.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been, they call this the solar coaster, so it's a lot of...
Roller coaster, I love it, I love it, I love it. So those of you that have listened before, you know the routine. You know I ask a routine set of questions, and it goes kind of free form. But Mohamed, when it comes to networking, are there any kind of avenues or venues that you frequent, and especially any uncommon ones?
So I'm the president of our BNI chapter, Desert Alliance. I think BNI has been the most effective source of networking for myself. I did over $1 million in closed business the last 2 years, but also was a part of the Palm Desert Chamber. I'm served on their board, the DBA, which is the LGBT chamber for the Valley. And so I think anything that really just gets out in the community. But if you're a part of any networking event, it's always best to be a leader in it. That way you'll be able to have a platform.
Really good point. I like that. Thank you. Any materials or preparation that you do before you go out to an event or, like a big event or a meeting or a leadership meeting?
So when it comes to like networking or anything like that, when it comes to sales, I always like to take an offensive approach. So I always say you want to collect information, not give information. And one of the best things is, a lot of people have business cards. And so what I do is I have a digital business card in my phone that I just text over. And in order to do that, you have to have their phone number, right? And so, by saying, when someone asks me for a card, I say, yeah, no problem. I'll just text it over. What's your number? Because I always want to be able to collect information. I always want control. Because when you have control, then, the fortunes are going to be in the follow-up.
Right on. That's pretty easy. Anything that inspires you regarding your networking and leadership or education? So
my sales background actually started in network marketing. And I think it's funny because you can smell a network marketer from a mile away. But, a lot of the things that they do teach create a great foundation. And then you're able to just to be able to carry that over, into sales. And so a big inspiration for me has always been Grant Cardone. So if you don't follow him, he's the #1 sales trainer in the world. I've literally learned everything about sales, from him. So I always say, find a mentor, whether that's going to be here locally. And if you can't, then YouTube. I mean, there's just, everyone's putting so much great content out there. There's always something to learn.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for saying the name, because that was actually one of my follow-up questions. And I agree, having a mentor or having, can't remember where I heard it. It may have been from Brian Buffini. And they were talking about, so many people do the shotgun approach to inspiration and mentoring. And it's like, no, you need to drill down on one or two that really move you. So like Grant Cardone obviously moves you. For me, it's Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy really moves me. He's a great motivator for me. And then other than that, BNI. And then specific authors and podcasts. So I just drill down and really listen to that one person over and over and over again. Or that, Dan Kennedy, that's another one that comes up. Dan Kennedy, I love his books. Absolutely no nonsense.
My mentor told me is that you develop personally, not by what you put in, but what you put out. And so many people are focused on this personal development or reading books, and they absorb all this information and then never put it into action. And so it's not just absorbing the information, but implementing it. So it's all the action that you do, everything that you represent. It's that outward appearance that is really going to help personal develop you, or else you're going to have all this information and you're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That actually brings up a concept that's kind of part of networking, but it's also this education and inspiration piece. So mastermind groups. So for instance, the way I would apply that is in my mastermind group. So like not everybody in the mastermind group is a member of BNI. So I take those concepts I learned from BNI and I teach those to others. Things I learned from Darren Hardy or Dan Kennedy, I impart those to other people or colleagues. So I hope that's what you mean, because that's how I interpret that.
Yeah, I think there's power in unity. If you look back at some of the greats like Lance Armstrong or Roger Bannister, who ran the fastest, ran under the 4-minute mile, they always had someone to help set the pace for them. And this is something that I'm really implementing in my life right now, where when you can just do the work by yourself, it's very easy to get distracted. You have social media on your phone, but when you're with someone, you say, hey, let's do this together. Let's learn this new software, this new tool, or let's do this exercise. When you have unity, you can just go so much faster, as a group. And so if you see someone, like example, Grant Cardone, he's never alone. There's always someone else on his team that's helping him keep pace, and that's how you're able to move so quickly. So when you're out there, like this is probably the best advice I can give for networking. Everyone goes there looking to sell, and that is the worst mentality, because you don't want to go into a room of sellers, you want to go into a room of buyers. But in that room of sellers, in your local, networking meeting, there's going to be people that are going to be able to complement your business. They're going to be people that want to run fast just like you. And that's exactly what you're looking for. You're not looking for a deal. You're looking for a partner. And when you have that mentality, you're going to go a lot farther in your business.
I completely agree. So can you tell us anything that you would consider funny or amusing in your many years of networking and leadership, and kind of what did you learn from it?
Something funny? I think just don't be this person. It's just like a lot of people go to the same group over and over and over again with the same people. They stay in the same circle. And, I teach this to my guys, like, I'm not going to buy a solar system from you. So don't spend the majority of your time with me. You want to go out there with strangers. Like, you make money off strangers. And so when you go out to these networkings, I know it's scary to sometimes talk to someone in the room that you don't know, or so easy or a lot more comfortable to see those same 4 or 5 people all the time. But it's the biggest mistake. I mean, you're taking an hour or 2 hours out of your day. Go talk to people that you don't know in the room. That should be the only people that you're really, trying to conversate with, because that's the whole purpose of going. And so that's why, you see the same people going to the room all the time and their business is not growing. And so, and honestly, with this whole COVID-19 and everything going on, the online game is going to be more important than ever.
Oh, God.
So, and a lot of people are going to either, you're seeing not just, there's, all this conspiracy, how this virus is natural selection and when it comes to people, but I'll say this, it's natural selection when it comes to businesses. There's going to be a lot of, smaller businesses or the businesses that cannot adapt, to this change will go extinct. They're going to go out of business. So, learn, don't go do what's comfortable right now. You have to be able to, double down on everything that is uncomfortable, challenge yourself. We're in the house right now for the next 30, 60, 90 days. This is your opportunity to learn that new skill. You can go into LinkedIn Learning or Udemy, or there's so many different sites out there to gather skills. And that's probably the best thing you can do with your time right now.
Right on. I agree. Well, you just answered both of those 2 questions. So do you have anything you want to add that we haven't talked about, an angle or a tip besides the ones you just gave?
When it comes to what?
Networking, connecting with people. I like what you said about what you're telling your sales execs is what you're really saying. But I do that too when I go to a networking venue. It's like I tell the people that I know, it's like, look, I care for you, but I'm not here for you. We can talk on the phone. And I always scope out that person, people I don't know. I go look for the wallflowers and try and pull them off the wall. And what I do is when I do land across that person where there's a potential strategic partnership, I drill down on that person. Not like hammering them, but really getting to know them a little bit better, asking them about their business, asking them about their philosophy, their personal philosophy. So that's going to tell me whether or not it's a good fit, and I don't want to waste another meeting with them over coffee to find that out. I want to do it right then and there. So I always figure if you connect quality-wise with two people, one or two people, you did a damn good job, especially if you made a connection that'll work.
So I'll say this based off that. I think in the times that we're living in right now, networking, I feel like networking is about meeting new people. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right now, it's so important to network with the people that are in your sphere right now, because no one's business plan is going according to plan with all this going on. Whether you're a business owner or employee, I mean, there's nobody that could have predicted this to happen. And so this is the moment right now. I just got off I was watching a YouTube video with Mark Cuban, and he said, your business will be defined for the next 10 years of how you treat your employees and how you treat your community today. And so, this is the best thing you can do is go on Zoom, reach out to your customers, make sure that they're okay, make sure that if they need anything, and then all of your partners as well too, and just stay in contact. Let them know that you're thinking of them, that you're rooting for them. And, my message to everyone, for all the businesses out in this community right now, the best way you can help your community is just by surviving. I mean, it's by surviving and limiting, limiting the amount of layoffs. For a lot of businesses, I mean, some are just inevitable. I mean, it's unfortunately it's the way it is right now. But if we can just do our part of surviving and keeping as much people on payroll, it's the best way you can serve your community right now.
Absolutely. Well, I can't think of anything else. I actually had something, but then it went away. Lovely middle-aged brain.
I'll say this, if you don't mind me talking about my business for a second.
Oh.
I encourage everyone to not be scared to push your business right now, whether you're essential, or not, because a lot of people think that, it's a tacky salesman. People are trying to pay bills, they have to still support their family. But one thing that I love about my industry is that it's not just considered essential, it's very essential to the situation. In solar, we help people lower their overall bills by 30 to 50% for no money out of pocket. So if you can afford your utility, from most cases, this would be Edison, then you can afford solar. And with income being affected as much as it is right now, lowering your overhead is so important. And we can be able to do that for no money out of pocket. And we're running a big special because of this whole COVID-19. We will actually pay for your first 12 months of payments. So if someone can get a solar system for not a single dollar down, be able to lower their overhead, and we're going to pay for your first 12 months.
Wow. Can you take the system off of my house and replace it with yours?
Yeah, and we have new technology as well too that we'll get into at a later point. But we're just trying to help out. And right now, like I said, it's your opportunity to do your research and to focus on lowering your overhead. People are going to be very self-conscious or very cautious of how they're spending their money, or what they're investing in. And there's no better investment right now than solar in California.
Yeah, cutting costs. So here's another idea. This is maybe the one that slipped my mind. So, and this is to my listeners and watchers, partnering with a business professional like Mohamed. I think that's important. We cross promote each other. So I've got, I don't know how many contacts, it's thousands on social media. So what I'm doing is cross promoting Mohamed on my channels and the special that he was talking about. So I'm doing him a good thing, but it's more importantly for me, I'm putting out goodwill in the business community. So it's like, yeah, I'm promoting my friend, but for me, it's about being of service to somebody else, leveraging my network for somebody else. And of course, it will come back to me, maybe with Mohamed, maybe not. But the important thing is to put that energy out there, to be of service, in my opinion. And it's not about, hey, hold my hand out, pay me, pay me, pay me. No, screw that. For me, it's about how can I be of service? And for me, networking is about finding those business partners, finding those trading partners that I can network, that I can partner with, where we have some kind of a, synchronistic relationship or anyway, can't get the word.
We're stronger together. Everyone has a different skill. And not just their business alone. Like, you know, I have people within my own business where, you know, he's a tech guy, he's the sales guy, he's the marketing guy. We all have skills right now. And so with your partners, it's not just the product or the service that you provide, but sometimes it's the knowledge. And so that's what, you know, we've been reaching out to our partners of how they're doing business, you know, what are their strategies, you know, even like what are their emails. You know, we're just doing business with one another, trying to have one voice here in the Valley.
Yeah, cool. Well, Mohamed, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on my networking nuggets. So those of you that haven't subscribed, hit the button down below. You're welcome to call, text, or email me. My contact information's also in the description here. And if you need to get a hold of Mohamed, give me a jingle. I will get you in touch with him lickety split.
All right.
Thanks again, Mohamed. You have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.
Always a pleasure. You too, Stephen.
Okay, bud.